Hello and welcome to my stamp studio. Tonight is Stampin' Fun and More at 6:44, and I think I'm right at 6:44. Oh, I was a minute late. I'm sorry. Oops, that is not what I needed to see there. So bear with me just a minute. I just need to somehow, I don't know what's going on here. I got stuck in a video and I don't know how to get out of it. There we go. Okay. So let's refresh the page and make sure I can see everything going on. There we go. Oh, that's yesterday's. Where's today's? Well, if someone's out there, please let me know that I'm here. Say hi, send me some love, just so I know that I'm online. Okay, hi Amy. How are you tonight? Oh, I'm super excited to bring you this sweet tonight. What in the world are you doing? Stop. You're knocking down all the ribbon. Sorry about that. I look over and my dog is playing with a pillow, and next thing I know, he's pulling down all the ribbon. There's like 4 bolts of ribbon that just went crazy. You silly boy. I know. Your buddy's coming, so we're puppy sitting again tonight. Not here yet. I can get my live done before he gets here. Which is a good thing, because all you hear is barking. That's the stressful part. I don't mind the puppy part. I can handle that. I can handle little accidents. It is my dog and the puppy barking back and forth. Oh, I can't take it. That's the only thing that bothers me. It's like when my boys were little and they'd fight and argue and yell all the time. It's, yeah. I don't know how I'm going to deal with grandbabies. Okay. So I'm super excited. Are you excited to be here tonight? Because I can finally open the catalog. Oh, I tell you what, it's so much fun when we get a catalog. As a demonstrator, I get my catalogs pretty early. So I was able to order things out of here in December. So I've had this stuff for a month now, and I've been playing with a lot of it. But I couldn't open the catalog to show you the gorgeousness. Now, I know some of you already have a catalog, and I hope you've had a chance to like take some little bookmarks or Post-it notes and mark all the things that you love, because it is celebration. And I'm just looking around for my celebration catalog. So I am talking to you. I'm just, I don't know where I put my little mini catalog there. Oh, well. I mean, I have my mini catalog. I don't have the celebration one. Oops, sorry. I'm sorry. Well, please, why stand up and get one. Okay. So have you gotten your celebration catalog? Now, if you don't have a demonstrator and you didn't get a catalog or a celebration catalog, let me know. Drop me a message. I'll contact you and I can send it out to you. I'd love to earn your business, and I'd love to share some of this creativity with you. So tonight we're going to be using the, you know what, I'm going to flip my camera down. It's going to be so much easier to do that. Hold on. If you get seasick, close your eyes. All right. Am I in screen here now? Yes, I am. So we're going to be using the Country Floral Lane suite. Now, we're not using everything in the suite, but we're using a lot of things in the suite. We'll be using the punch. We'll be using the ribbon. And we'll be using the coordinating designer series paper. Now, the country gingham paper I used yesterday on our Hump Day Lunch Break Live. If you didn't see it, you need to go over to my YouTube channel and check it out. Aren't these cards adorable? This is using the country gingham designer series paper, and that has balmy blue, and everyone knows my favorite, mint macaron, ha ha ha, and petal pink, and those are the colors that are featured. Let me show you this designer series paper that we're going to be using. Now, I'm only going to be using the designer series paper on one card. This is my class to go for January. What did I do to my nail? Holy cow. Okay. This is my class to go for January. So that will be posted tomorrow. So you can sign up for that. I just need to get all my graphics done, which being sick all during Christmas and after, I'm way behind on getting that stuff done. So. But here is this gorgeous paper. So you can see I've dove into it already. So on this side we have these pretty hearts, and then the petal pink with some heart X's and O's. I want to ride my bicycle. I can't help but that song pops in my head, and probably I got it stuck in your head now too. If you don't know what song I'm referring to, try Fat Bottom Girls by Queen. Yeah, then you got it. All right, so this has all the colors in it. On the other side, there is this really pretty balmy blue. So you can use this for other designs. Now, this stamp set isn't only for Valentine. Oh my gosh, we're not even going to use, I don't think I made a Valentine one. In the class to go, there is a Valentine one, but not here. We'll be using this awesome paper, and this works with our punch. So let me just get that punch out here. So this is one of those features that if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can definitely get the punch. And punches are just as fun, let me tell you. So I'm going to go ahead and we're going to punch this out. So I'm just going to slide this right in, and I can line it up, and boop, I've got leaves and hearts right here. There we go. Okay, so tonight is a virtual class. So in my virtual class, when you spend $35 or more in my online store, you're going to be getting all the supplies to make 2 of each of the 3 designs we go through in the virtual class tonight. So it's basically free with a purchase class. That doesn't always sound that great, so I changed it to Stampin' Fun and More. Tonight we're actually going to be, I'm wanting to use this right here, so I do need to trim this down. I'm going to do that right now while we have this out. In your class kit, you'll be getting a chunk of the paper here so that you can cut yours out. And I'm going to go right here, and that should be what I need. And trim this down over here. Make sure I don't cut off my flowers. There we go. Because I don't want to use the mint macaron. I've used it a lot in the last couple days, and I think I OD'd on mint macaron. Just saying. Just saying. You know how I love that color. Okay, and then we've got this pretty paper here, and it's got the mint, it's got the mossy meadow, it's got petal pink. On the other side, it's got the petal pink with the hearts. Then there's this really pretty balmy blue with the hearts, and on the other side, you've got larger flowers. So those are the different things. So you get 6 different designs, and there's 2 of each sheet. So you get 12 sheets in your package here. All right, let me just get all these pieces back together, and then I can get them back in the little folder. I need to purchase more 12 by 12 sleeves so I can put this in there. Oh, well, that's going to rip. Okay. I guess I'll do that after the video. All right. And I do have a card or 2 using the Adorable Owls, which was my feature set this week for our celebration. Oh, I didn't even see that card. I'm going to do that card this weekend and post it. I'll even post the instructions for it. That is a really cute card. Oh my gosh. I'm going to have to make that. I didn't even notice that one before. All right, let's get started on some fun. All right, so move that out of the way. Now, if you place a $50 order in my online store using the host code that is in the description of the video, not only are you going to get the 6 cards from tonight's class, you're going to get a package of the iridescent pearls. Unless they're not available, then you'll be getting a different package of embellishments. But you get the embellishment as a gift, a thank you gift from me. And you get to pick out a celebration product. So what celebration products do you get to pick out when you do a $50 order? If you look in your little brochure, you're going to find these little free with the $50 purchase. So anyone that has this rich raspberry dot is a free one. So there's stamps, there's designer series paper. Oh, I guess it changes every color or every page. So look for the one that says free with 50. Now there are a couple in here that are free with $100. So those, for example, is right here. This is a beautiful set. There are a lot of stamps in there. There's 17 stamps. So you get a lot more stamps in here. The phrases are awesome. Let me get these out. Now, even though I've had these for a while, I don't necessarily like to share them until you guys can get them, because I think it's kind of a tease and it's kind of mean. So I wait until it's time to have it be available for you. But here is that stamp set. It is photopolymer, but look at all the different greetings you get with it. It's a great one. This will be featured later this month. Each week this month, January and February, I will be featuring one of the products in the celebration brochure. So there'll be a free tutorial on Friday, and all through the week I'll have posts on Facebook. I'll have a post on my webpage. There'll be a YouTube video. It'll either be a card in the Thursday class or the Hump Day Lunch Break Live. So I try to feature them throughout the whole week. But where it says free with a $100 purchase, that way you know when you spend $100, you can get this free. Now, if you spend $150, I'm going to share a little secret with you. Purchase the starter kit, because the starter kit is an unbelievably great deal. And let me just get up my little thing, because I don't remember all the prices on it. So let me just pull it up here and open. Let's see, where did I put it? Well, it's probably in my email. So let me open my email really quick and I can read that to you. Now, those of you that are on my email list, you would have gotten this email from me already, talking about the starter kit. But there's something even more special I'm going to show you in just a few minutes. So bear with me while I find my first email here. And it's not that one. I'm just going to go find my second one. Here we go. So the email title is Bring Joy to Your Craft Room. So it talks about what I'm going to show you next. But when you purchase the starter kit, there are 3 different options this month and February. And this is a tremendous deal. This is not normally offered by Stampin' Up. So the first choice is you can get the mini die cut machine added to your starter kit. Let me show you what that is. So this is a little mini die. Now, the majority of dies that we have will fit in here. Some won't, but for the majority they do. The embossing folders, only if you use the mini embossing folders, will fit in here. But look how stinking cute this is, okay? It's really lightweight. And okay, here's the size of the Celebration catalog, right? Now look at this. It is the size of that little catalog. Isn't that stinking cute? But wait, I'm going to unbox the new Boho Blue mini die cut machine, and we'll put it together so you'll see exactly how it comes mailed to you. Anyways, I'm going to tell you about the starter kit deals first. So you can get the white or the boho blue, and your choice of $175 worth of Stampin' Up product for only $129. That is a humongous deal. You're getting $50 more than you usually would with our $99 starter kit. You get a lot more stuff. And then if you don't want one of the mini die cut machines, you don't have to get it. You can still purchase the starter kit for $175 or the $99. So don't worry about that. Or if you have one already. But if you're going to be spending $150, you may as well just go ahead and purchase the starter kit. There's no obligation to be a business. There's no obligation to stay. So what you do when you purchase the starter kit, what that does for you is it will give you 6 months worth of a 20% discount. So it's like always having a coupon with you. And then if you decide, hey, I don't want to really do this, I'm done getting a discount, then you can just go back to being one of my customers. You can join my team. It's called Ink Trails. I have some tremendous people on my team. Amy, Helen, Carla, Cheryl. They're all a lot of fun. I'd love for you to join our team. We have monthly meetings each month, and we try to do swaps. Every time there's a new catalog, we do a swap. All right, so I am opening, and this is going to be kind of hard. Let me raise my camera up for just a few minutes here. We'll get started on the class in just a few minutes. But I need to get this out because I want to use it tonight. So this is how it came. It gets shipped to me. I have my cut and emboss plates right here. So I'm going to use my existing ones. But there's one for die cutting, there's one for embossing, and then there's the other ones for cutting. So you get those with it. And then you take the little eggshell wrapper here out. And look at how cute this is. It's put together. You really don't have to do much of anything. It's assembly ready for you. It's like moving ready. It's ready to come into your stamp room. And look how cute it is. Oh my gosh. I love it. I know I already have one. I already have the large one too, but I couldn't resist getting a blue one. You all know me and my blues. All right, so we're going to slide this back down so that I can get to, ooh, danger. Knocked over my light and my clock. I'm going to move this out of the way momentarily to get my, ooh, that one snaps nice and tight. My other one is very well used, so, and it's still lasting me. We're going to get all the little extra things out that we need here. And we'll get started on our class. So I'm going to be using our Country Bouquet stamp set and the coordinating punch and then that designer series paper and the ribbon. What did I do with ribbon? Ribbon right here. I tell you what, I love this ribbon. Look at how pretty this is. It's crumb cake, but it has that little stitching on it. Oh, I just love it. And then this is real red. It's a thinner gross grain ribbon. It's very pretty. But we'll be using those tonight. I need my Stampin' Dimensionals, of course, and my iridescent pearls. I hope those are still in the catalog. I forgot to check. If these are not in the catalog, you'll still be getting a really great embellishment, believe me. It'll go with this. All right, let's go with our first card here. And I am going to make this card. So I'm going back in the comments here just so I can read some of them. Because I was going so fast. I was so excited. Oh, it does. Oh, that's funny. I did not plan that. You're right, it does. Except for this one that it chipped off. But yeah, it does. Oh, some days. Okay, so here is my card. And this is So Saffron. So I have a piece of So Saffron that's 8.5 by 5.5. And I scored it at 4 1/4. So I'm just going to give this a good crease, though, with my bone folder. So some of you may be asking, well, Beth, what should I get with $50? Oh my gosh, we all just got done with making our Christmas cards, right? I know that I need to have more white cardstock because I used a ton of it. I had 5 packs, I'm down to 2. I always need dimensionals, so these are some basics that you can throw on. I tend to stock up on my paper and my envelopes and all those things that I've gone through in the last couple of months. That's what I use to stock up on. And then I get the free stamp set. So totally worth it. So like, for example, I already have one of these. I'll probably be getting another one because I think I'm going to end up doing a class on this. But going back to the card, I've got a piece of Balmy Blue that I ran through the decal dies. So the decal dies are kind of fun. They give like kind of this torn edge kind of look without having to tear it. We are going to tear paper tonight though. It's an, you know, it's an old technique, old school technique, but it is just, it's timeless. And then I've got a piece of designer series paper, and this is our new designer series paper. It is the Hostess paper in the mini catalog, and I'm just trying to get the name because I don't remember the names yet. They're all still kind of new, so I don't have them down pat. Let's just see. So in the back of the catalog here, oh, maybe it's not that one. Maybe it's the, oh please, it might be the Celebration one that I grabbed. It just may be. Let's just flip through this and find out. Oh, it is the Celebration one. So when you spend $100 in my store, you can get this designer series paper. It's 12 by 12 and it's 48 sheets. It's a mega amount of paper, but we're using this pattern, right? Well, one of these patterns. It's in here somewhere. I could have sworn it was this one. Okay, yeah, it's this one because there it is. It is that one. That's the other side. Okay, so it's another Celebration item. I thought it was in the regular catalog. My bad. Okay, so I have this, and I use my rectangle dies to cut that out. And then I cut another rectangle die out of basic white. So really that's how this is going to line up. Now I wanted to add some background to my card just because I felt this was a little, I don't know, it just needed to pop a little bit more. So I went ahead and I'm grabbing my So Saffron stamp pad, and I'm going to grab that little scrap paper I had here. we'll take all these layers off for the moment. And we're going to grab our stamp set. I'm going to grab both little hearts. And what I did for that, oh, well, better find where that stamp set came from. Let's pull this thing off so we don't have to listen to me ripping it on and off during the night. I'm going to grab the small little hearts here, and my block is all dirty. I'm going to put one right here, and then I'm going to grab the other ones, and I'm going to just put it right there, just like that. I'm going to stamp both at the same time, and I'm just going to randomly stamp on opposite corners. And I don't have to stamp real far down because that cardstock layers are going to cover some of it. But I like to just make sure that I'm getting far enough through that. And I feel like I need one more over here. There we go. So I'm just doing those corners. Now, if you don't have all the colors, I'd recommend a Versamark pad. Versamark is an ink that can be any color that your cardstock is. So no matter what your cardstock is, when you're using a Versamark ink pad, it's a watermark, so it will be the same color as your cardstock. It'll just stand out a little bit. That's all. It's very subtle, but totally worth it, especially if you don't have all the different colors. Get a Versamark pad. And the Versamark pads can be used with embossing powder. All right. So now let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and mount this with my dimensionals. And you're going to notice I have stamping on the back. And I'll show you. Well, because I don't have my swaps back. Oh, yeah, I have it. I'll show you why I have stamps on that one. We'll do that later. Someone remind me towards the end. All right, so I'm going to put this one down. Just going to center that right on there. I'm going to take some of my seal here, and I'm just going to run a strip right down the middle. I'm going to bring in this awesome ribbon, and I'm going to start it there. I like to kind of cheat this way and use my seal to hold this in place. And now I'm going to wrap. Now, if I want to move it a little bit closer together, I can. There we go. Make this a little more flat. Oops, it came up. There we go. All right. And now I can take my scissors and I can trim that. I'm going to trim this side just a little bit because it frayed. All right. Okay. So now I'm going to lay this piece on, but I am going to take my dimensionals on this as well. So this is double dimensional. It's double 3D. I should have my 3D glasses on. So I was in a Zoom meeting the other day, and I decided to put some video filters on. So one of them were 3D glasses. And then one was a pirate patch over the eye. Oh my gosh, it was so funny. And when the person was first talking to me, they didn't realize I had that on. And then all of a sudden she looked up and she started cracking up. She's like, "What are you doing?" Every time I meet with this person, I always have a video filter on. She's like, "You are too funny." It's just something humorous. You know, you got to do things once in a while. All right. So now what I need is I need some hearts for this. And the heart that I need is going to be, I want this little one right here. So I'm actually just going to take a strip of my paper, just like that, and I'm going to slide it in, because we're all about saving paper, right? We don't want to waste our paper. So I'm just going to punch just 2 of them. That's all I need. All right. I'm going to move this out of the way, because I need to stamp on this before I put that in my card front. Now, earlier, I punched this out. In fact, I'm going to punch it again because this is the color that I want. Actually, I'm going to do this side and this side because that will give me the leaves. And then I'm not wasting anything. All right, so here we go. And it punches out punches out both hearts and both leaves. So I've got a whole bunch of little extra stuff. I'm just going to keep that off here. And we'll go over to this side. And I just need that one leaf, but there we go. All right, so in your class kit, you'll get a section of the paper. It'll probably be one of each color here. But you'll have a piece of Mossy Meadow paper. So if you want Mossy Meadow on there, you can stamp Mossy Meadow. All right. So to make these cards like I'm going to, you'll need to have the stamp set. I'd recommend the punch because you know what? Hey, it pops things out for you. And if you're first starting with stamping, oh my gosh, get the punch. You are not going to regret it at all. All right, so let's go ahead and open this up. And now I need to make a stem for my flower. So there's no real good stem in here. Now I could draw one with my marker, but I'm lazy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and use this one. I'll be using my marker later. So we're just going to grab this little one right here. Oops, I don't want to get ink on my ribbon. Let's move that out of the way. And I'm going to stamp this right here in my Mossy Meadow. And yes, I did ink up my stamp pads. So they're really dark. All right. So now I can use either side of the flower. So you choose which side, or the heart. You choose which one you want. I'm going with this one. All right. So I can actually just go ahead. I'm going to adhere this down right away. I'm going to just use a little bit of liquid glue here. Cooper? No. He's trying to crawl up in my lap. He hears me talking. He wants to join everybody. No, you're not coming up. Sorry, dude. All right. And then I'm going to just put my flowers on, or my leaves on. I obviously can't talk shapes tonight, so you'll get the picture because I'm going to probably say the wrong word. It's been a long day. I was in a lot of meetings. I did a lot of talking today. So I'm kind of a little on the tired side. And I may forget my words. So you'll just have to bear with me. All right. Now, before I put these two on, I'm going to bring back in my card base. And I'm just going to adhere this right to the front. I'm not going to use extra dimensionals. I'm sorry. So my dog is putting his head on my lap. And there's only about this much clearance from the bottom of the table to my lap. Yeah, he's just, he's cracking me up. Well, it's better than in the summer when he sits there and licks my toes, which I'm not a fan of. I love my dog, but yeah, I don't like people touching my toes, man. And my dog, maybe too much information about me, huh? All right, so then I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to put some glue on here. Let's hold it down for a second. But just a really cute card. I didn't have to use much of anything but really cardstock and some designer series paper. I didn't have to pull in a lot of dye. Well, I guess I did pull in a lot of dyes, but you know what I mean. If you don't have a die cut machine, you can cut your rectangles. You don't have to die cut them. It's just a different way of making the card. I just thought it was really fun. And now let's get our finishing touches on here. And you know what? So these are the pastel adhesives. This is what kind of goes with the whole kit or the whole suite. I didn't think that these really look right on my card. That's why I'm using the iridescent pearls. And Amy, maybe you can tell me if iridescent pearls are still available. Because if they're not, then I'll pull something else out right now. And we'll figure that one out. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of these pearls here and put them on my card. We'll put one up here. I'm going to take one of these little ones and put that right on there. All right. So that's our first little card. Let's go ahead and put something on the inside, right? Because we all want it inside. Oh, I don't even have a sentiment on here. Oh my gosh, what was I thinking? I was thinking that I should put a sentiment on. Okay. So here's my little strip here. It's just a 1/2-inch strip. So it's left over when I cut out my layers, my basic white layers. I have all sorts of these little 1/2-inch strips. So I'm going to go ahead and just simply grab for you. Yes. And let me share this with you because you all know me because I always lose something, right? I already lost my straw die from my share of milkshake. I'm so mad at myself. I was doing a video and it popped off and landed in my lap, and I didn't stop right when it happened to pick it up. No, I waited. I finished my video. Yeah, and when I went to go find it, I couldn't find it. I'm sure it's on my floor. It probably just like slid under something, but now I gotta find it before I vacuum. I'm really hoping it's on the floor and not, I hope it didn't fall in my basket. All right, so I digress. So I'll keep you posted on that. It's always something, right? I mean, it's been a couple months though since I lost something, so I guess it's not been too bad. All right, and I'm just gonna trim that off. And I really should have done it before. Well, we're gonna trim a little bit more off then. I actually, on my original card, I actually tucked this underneath, but I'm just going to put that right on top because I forgot to tuck it underneath. So, and I'm just doing one side here. I'm just doing the left side of that tag because it hangs off a little bit. All right, so here's this one. Here's my original with it tucked in. It doesn't really look a whole lot different, so those both still work. Let's go ahead and just stamp the inside here. So I am just going to do this real simple like. I am going to grab just the little hearts that I used earlier. And I think I'm just going to use the little solid ones. I lied. I'm going to use those too. But right now I'm going to use the solid ones. And we're going to go with, we'll start with our, somehow I got a Cooper hair in my stamp pad. How it gets on my table, I have no idea. Because he's never on my table. All right. Okay, so I'm going to start with this one. And I'm just going to stamp a couple little hearts along the bottom. Just because they're so sweet. All right. Now I'm going to bring in my Balmy Blue. I am cracking myself up. I hope I crack you guys up. I know I crack myself up on a regular basis. I hope I'm funny for all of you too. Or are you just rolling your eyes at me and I can't see you? All right, we got that. And now to just tie in our Mossy Meadow, I'll stamp my sentiment in Mossy Meadow. And I'm going to take the For You. I love that we're friends. I think that's a sweet sentiment. I'll put these back away before I lose that. Before they stick to my dog and they walk out of my stamp room. All right. So let's go ahead and grab this. Oh, and I just thought of something else I can do for the inside. Okay. So I love that we were friends. And I'm going to leave that out because I'm going to pull back in my, actually it's going to be my other little, no, it'll be this one. We'll use this one. Because this just dawned on me now. Again, I go rogue even on my own projects. And I'm just going to come in and stamp that. And let go. Just to make it look like little flowers are growing. Little hearts are my little flowers growing. There we go. Fun and festive and not like summer-ish, but kind of springy. Yeah, I'm going with kind of springy is the theme. Oh, hello, Lisa from Iowa. How are you doing? So have you gotten any of the new products? Did you put an order yet? All right. Oh, and I must have had ink on my hand because now I've got that there. So you know what? We're going to hide it. I'm just going to grab this little flower right there, and we are going to hide the little boo-boo that I did. Okay. Oh, good. Oh, and they're not low inventory. Oh, wow. Some days I'm shocked myself. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Amy, the other Amy. Okay, so great way to hide your boo-boo. Just put a stamp on it. All right. Next, I'm going to put this guy away because I don't need this for the next card. This one's going to be the torn paper, the retro technique. It's just a technique I've used, I don't know, for years since I've been scrapbooking and stamping. It's something that I do a lot of, and I never really think about it. I just do it. And so I was like, oh, I should probably share something that easy. So this is our next card. Ah, okay. Well, hi, Shell. How are you doing? All right. And so here we go. So our bits and pieces here. I have a piece of crumb cake, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm kind of going with that theme tonight. I'm not doing any of the 4 1/4 by 11. I'm just sticking with this one. And I have a piece of the Designer Series paper. This is cut at 2 1/4. Wait, let me measure that, just make sure. Because I changed my mind at the last minute when I did this. Yeah, 2 1/4 by 5.5. Actually, this is longer than 5.5, only because I didn't trim it down. And this piece here is 2.5 by 5.5. So it goes all the way across, just like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to adhere these two together, and then I'm going to trim off this one end. So let's go ahead and get this adhered on there. Now, if you don't like the little bicycles, flip it over and use the balmy blue side. Have fun with your projects. You don't have to do everything like I do it. Oh heavens, use your own creativity. And I'm sure there are a lot more creative people out there in the world than me. And some people like my style, some people don't. I don't know that I really have a style, to tell you the truth. I kind of go on a whim. All right, so then I have a piece of mint macaron. Yes, I'm using it again. I know I'm putting some people probably in shock that I've used it for more than like 4 cards. So what I'm going to do with this one, though, is I want the torn edges, but I don't want to have to tear this edge and this edge. So I'm just going to tear it right down the middle. Yes, that's what I'm doing. Right down the middle, just like that. I'm going to flip that side over, and there we go. I don't even have to do like any little tiny tearing. So let's go ahead and I'm going to run some seal across both sides here. And then I'll just put these on there. So I want to make sure that I had this rough edge kind of facing, it's going to be facing up. And I just need to, I'm not pushing it down real far because notice I don't have that edge really good. So what I'll end up having to do is tear a little bit off. Oh, let me see here. Just gotta get a little bit going. All right. So I tell you what, some of the ladies in my downline are just so amazing. They're super, super creative, and they spend a lot of time on their cards. It's not that I don't like to spend time on my cards. I do. But when I'm making classes and doing videos, sometimes I don't get to spend as much time as I would like to. But I tell you what, I don't ever have to worry about that because my team has amazing ideas. And I get my mojo and my creativity spark from them. All right, so before I put this one down, I do want to take a piece of that awesome ribbon. I just love this ribbon. I can't get over it. And you're going to see me use this all the time. In fact, I already need to order more. All right. So I'm just going to tie a little knot here. Let me try it this way. Okay. Do. I was supposed to have a little helper here tonight, but she couldn't make it. I was hoping to have a little helper, I should say. All right, I'm going to trim this, and I'm just going to make really short little tails here. I don't want anything too long. Trying to get that ribbon to realize I'm boss and that it's not boss. All right. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pull in 2 tags. Now, I use the Tailor Made Tags dies. to cut these tags out. Let me show you these dies, because they are, I really love them. I actually love them so much. I've been using them so much for classes that I actually have 2 sets. If I can find even one of the sets here, it'll be good. I probably have them both out. Share, milkshake, tailor-made tags. Yep, here we go. This is one of those staple kind of dies. So look how many dies you get in this one. So you can either count them or I can tell you. There's 10. But I like that it comes with these little pieces too. So you've got that little reinforced tab. So I'm going to be using that on here. All right. So there's different sizes and there's different shapes. So this one has more of a, I don't know, decorative top, whereas this is more just straight. So I decided, because of the paper and stuff, I'm going to go with the more decorative. I did use this designer series paper, and then I decided, oh, that's too busy for me. So I decided to go that way with it, and we're going to stamp on this one. So let's start with our Happy Valentine's Day. I did lie to you. I did do a Valentine's card. But it's just, it's not a typical Valentine's card, so that's why I didn't remember it was a Valentine. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. All right, I got my block here. Again, when I have a sentiment and I'm using the photopolymer, sometimes these get a little wobbly or if they're skinny. So I like to drop it on my work surface and then pick it up. That way I know my stamp is straight. Now, whether I stamp it straight, that's a whole nother story, right? Let's put that away. So now, this is going to be a very bold color because I did ink this. All right, so notice that this doesn't quite fit all the way. So I want to make sure I angle this. There we go. And I'm going to grab my adhesive here. This is just my Tombow glue. I just happen to have it in this skinny one. This one got clogged. Oh, please, why I grabbed the other one. This is why I have 2 bottles with me at all times. In the event that one gets clogged, I'm hoping the other is not. All right, there we go. So I'm just going around this hole here. I found it easier to put my glue on this versus on this little guy, because trying to get that little guy picked up and then put where I want is kind of a little challenge. And sometimes I don't want to be that challenged when I'm stamping. Just saying. All right. Hello, Hilda. How are you tonight? All right. So now I'm just going to put this here, and I can adjust my tags underneath, just like that. So it almost looks like this is my present. All right. And have it like just like that. So I know that's where this one's going to go. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my adhesive. I'm going to slide it right there. And this one, I'm just going to slide right under there. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to be able to pop it up just because of that bow, the way it's sitting. But I do want it right there. And I don't even have to thread it. If I wanted to thread it, I could. But look at that. I don't even have to thread it. All right. We're going to go ahead and just take adhesive along here. I have that straight. Oh, why is my adhesive no? Because I'm pushing too hard. That's why. With these seals, you have to be very light-handed. All right, make sure I'm opening the right way. All right, there we go. And now let's bring in our iridescent pearls again. And let's just put some on there. And we'll put one here. And there's really no rhyme or reason of where I put things. Just saying, just put them wherever it makes you happy. I kind of like it there. Okay, and if you want more on your card, you can put more on your card. So this one I had put 5. You know what? Let's go ahead and put a couple more. It needs something, right? It needs something a little more. Yes, I did watch The Grinch during the holidays. Again, my husband and I were really sick, so we didn't go anywhere. We kind of missed out on our family Christmas. But we had a very relaxing day. Our son ended up getting sick, and he didn't go to the Christmas festivities with my family either. So the 3 of us stayed home, enjoyed ourselves on the recliner, in the couch, watching movies all day, just chilling out. All right, so there we go. Now, because crumb cake is so light, you don't necessarily have to have any sort of white in here. You can just stamp right on here. So I'm going to go ahead. I kind of wish this stamp set had a bike because it would be really cute to stamp in there. But if you have a stamp set with a little bike, that would really look cute with that paper. I'm just going to take these flowers here, and I'm just going to do it all in blue. The next one, we're going to be playing around a little bit with markers and different colors. So yeah, I'll just go along the bottom. I'm not real original, kind of doing the same thing as I did on the first one, just along the bottom there. There we go. All right, so that's card 2. We're cruising tonight. Some people are amazingly good that way, aren't they, Amy? I have one of the techs at the clinic. She's terrible. And I finally just tell her, I said, if you can't get it the first time, just stop. Have someone else come in, because I can't take you bruising up my arms. I mean, I'd walk out of there with bruises literally all the way up and down. And they'd end up taking it from my hand. Yeah. So I always have to ask for the one. So I usually will call ahead of time. Is so-and-so there today? I need blood drawn, so... They all know, they all laugh. But they all prefer not to have to draw my blood either, because I'm a challenge. And not that I'm a challenging person, I'm just a challenging draw. I can be a challenging person too, but that's besides the point. All right, and here is our third card. So I really kind of went out of the box with this one. I really just wanted to focus mostly on the stamp set tonight, but I did want to bring in some of the other products from the suite so that you could see what they look like. Because if you do or actually order that whole suite, you can get a celebration product for free. All right. So on here, we are going to be stamping the envelope on this one. I have a scrap piece of basic white, just a strip for my sentiment. I have a piece of Mossy Meadow, 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. Shock, I know. Then I have a piece of Sweet Sorbet, using my rectangle dies again. And I have a white circle scallop from my Layering Circles dies. So to me, these are not like specialty dies. These are like staple ones. So think of it like a mixing bowl. So you know you have bowls in your kitchen to make whatever recipe. Well, you know what? My dies, my rectangles, my tags, my circles, those are all like my mixing bowls. I always have them handy. And on days that I want to craft, but I maybe don't have time, or maybe I just don't have, I lost my craft mojo that day, I will just take some white cardstock and I will just sit there with my die cut machine and just run it through. But I'm really excited. I did save some pieces to actually die cut for you today. So we'll get to that in a minute. We'll pull in that boho blue die cut machine that you can get if you purchase a starter kit. Just saying. I'm going to start with my stamping. So the first part of the stamping, I need to grab a larger scrap piece of paper here. All right. And I need to grab in a blending brush. So here we go. And in fact, I was using this larger one, but I think I'm going to turn around and I'm going to use, these are our small blending brushes. So here's the difference in size. All right, quite a bit of difference. So we're going to use this small one. I used the larger one when I did my pattern, but you can see I kind of got a little bit of shadow in there, which I don't mind. But I think I'm going to try the small one just to see how it's going to work out. So you get 3 brushes in there for $11. I went ahead and I took a piece of scrap paper here and I punched out my heart and my leaves because that's what I wanted to use for my stencil. So you can see I've done that here. So I just have a piece of, I was looking all day for this piece. I have a piece of Post-it note tape and I am just going to put this right here like that. I'm going to grab my Mossy Meadow and I'm going to take my little blending brush here and I'm going to pounce on my pad there, and then I'm wiping it off a little bit more because I had gray on here, So I make sure the gray is off. All right, so I'm gonna I'll pounce on my paper. And I do that because, did you notice how dark that looks? I do that before I go ahead and blend. So I don't get that pounce look on my... Now I like this because I'm not going off the edges. It's a little bit easier to control in these smaller areas. So I am really glad they came out with smaller ones. All right, now I know it doesn't look like much right now, but we're going to zoom in a little bit. And you're going to start seeing the pattern. See, I went off a little bit, but that's okay. You don't really notice too much. All right, I'm going to go here. Again, I just want to have a little subtle background. And I thought it'd be really fun to use my punch as a stencil. I actually use my punches a lot as a stencil. You can use dies as well. I don't know in particular why I use my punches more. I just do. Probably because if I'm sitting here working with my punches, I usually won't pull out my die cut machine. I'll make do with the punches I have on hand. All right. So I know, kind of like watching paint dry, but that's okay. It's kind of fun sometimes. It's nice and relaxing. So put your feet up, grab your favorite beverage. You probably have enough time to run to the kitchen and grab a beverage while I finish this up. All right. I'm going to zoom back out. There we go. Oh, I just put my hand in there. Note to self, move the stamp pad a little further away from your hand. And I'm trying to be careful that I don't go on my edges here. Otherwise, I'll get that deco kind of look on my card front. And I really should have run to the kitchen and grabbed something to drink. I did not do that. All right. So now, let's see. We can probably fit, we'll just... I'm going to do my little heart right here. I'm going to be very careful when I do this one now. I just want the heart. I don't want that leaf right there quite yet. All right, so I got the heart. I can come back in now, and I can do a leaf. I can even get that little corner there too. That's fine. All right. There we go. I can do another little heart right here. Again, go with when you think you need just one more, stop. You can always go back and add one, but you can't take it away. All right, so this one I do want to be careful. I want to make sure that I'm not going to color in that heart. I just want a leaf. All right, there we go. And I do need just one more. I just need a leaf right here. We'll do the, you know what? We can fit the leaf and the heart right on there. Now, I didn't necessarily have to do that whole thing because I am going to be covering part of it up. But this way, I know that I have most of it done. If I have to go back in and add one later, I can add one in later. There we go. All right. How fun is that? Let's clean this off a little bit. Now, I'm just getting a lot of the ink off using my paper. I can actually run this under warm water. Not hot, but warm water, and get a lot more ink out. But they are going to stain. You know, if you just clean them off on your paper, you're good. I usually have quite a few. I think I have like 12. And so I kind of use, well, this is always my blue or my green, you know, things like that. All right. And I don't know where my hand sanitizer is, so I can't clean my hands. Hopefully I don't have a lot of ink on it, but I probably do. All right. Now I know that I'm going to put this off to my side. I'm going to leave that here for just a second. This. I need to bring in my scrap piece of moisture metal. I just want the large heart. So I'm just going to punch out a heart. Here we go. Oh, kind of got that cut off, didn't I? All right, there we go. We'll just do a new one. All right, I need that. And now I need to stamp my heart. So let's move this out of the way. Let's bring in that scrap piece of white that I had. I'm going to bring in my larger block. Now, the way that I found to do this, what worked for me, is I stamped my flower first and then my leaves, because this is two-step, and it will form your heart. When I try to do it the reverse way, like I stamped my green because it was a darker one first and then my little flowers, I had a hard time lining it up. So I found that using this one helps line it up a little easier. So I'm just going to drop this right on there. Now it'll barely fit on this D block, but it'll fit. All right, I'm going to bring in my Sweet Sorbet. Now this has a kind of a distinctive look, and what the distinctive look means is it's not going to be a solid image. So see, there's some areas of light and dark. It's not your stamping, it's not your inking. That's the way this one stamps. So don't think that you did something wrong. All right, so let's go right here. I'm just going to stamp right along here. Give it a good press. I'm going to clean that off right away. I could stamp off here a couple times just to get the ink off. But you know, red stains photopolymer just a little bit. That's the way it is. All right, so now I'm going to grab in this other piece, which looks like this. Good. This one, it's barely going to fit on here. So I try to line it up as best I can to get most of it on there. There we go. That should be fine. And now I'm going to bring in my Mossy Meadow. You could use Garden Green with this. That would be a really good combination, or Soft Succulent. That would be another good combination. But I really felt that I wanted to use Mossy Meadow today. All right, so now this one, I'm going to look through my stamp and I'm going to line it up. So I can see that I know there's going to be some leaves here and here. So I can kind of see the areas that they should be in. So I'm just going to turn my stamp here. And kind of look at my bottom here. So I'm looking at this heart right down here, and I'm trying to line it up with this little spot right there, right there. And now I just wipe my ink off. So I'm just going to look in through here, and I'm just going to turn it till I feel I'm kind of lined those up. And let's see here. All right, well, you know what? We're just going to do it. Okay. Yeah, not as good as that one. That one turned out much better. So let's try it again. Grab another block. Oh, wrong color. So I'm showing you this technique. This is how I made my original card, but I am going to show you another technique in just a minute. So I'm going to stamp this. I'm going to stamp two of them here. So put one here. And because I want to show you the other thought process I had in my head after I made this card, I'll put this one here. All right. So we'll go ahead and stamp this up in the Mossy Meadow again. I'm going to slide this one down. All right. So I'm just trying to, and it's a little hard to do it like over directly under the camera there. So I'm just turning this so that my leaves kind of fall between all the different flowers. There we go. That's a little better. Okay, so now let me show you the other technique that I have. And we can see which one we like better. So I'm going to bring in my markers. So I've got my box of markers here. And I'm going to take my Mossy Meadow. Now, originally I thought of using my soft seafoam, but it's such a light color, I don't know that it's going to show up real well. So I'm going to take Pear Pizzazz. And now I'm going to actually, I'm going to stamp this down here just so I can, well, I should be able to see it okay. Let's do this. That doesn't help me either. This does though. Okay. So I'm just putting it in my stamp case just so I can kind of get an idea of where I'm looking, so I know which leaves I'm going to do what in. So I think I'm going to take the larger leaves and I'm going to do that in my Pear Pizzazz. So I'm just going to color. Now you can hardly see the color on there, and that's okay. It's there. It really is, promise. What you could do is you could do this using your Stamparatus, and that way if you wanted more color, you can go back in and add more color. So I'm just getting my really big leaves there. All right. I'm just randomly coloring some leaves. All right, and I think we'll get this one. I'll grab these right here. Okay, get that. And now I'm going to come back in with my Mossy Meadow, and I'm using the brush side, and I'm just going to go over some of these areas that I'm not sure I got. So use your lighter color first, and then come back with your darker color, because you don't want to get the darker color on your lighter color stamp pad or marker. Sorry, I'm concentrating here. All right. All right, so now it may have dried just a little bit. So all you do is have to get your hot air on it. So I just breathed on it. And I think I just got marker on my face. Okay. And I'm just looking through again. I'm lining this up where I find openings between the flowers. And I'm just going to make a commitment. I'm just going to push it down. There we go. Look how pretty that is. So do you like it with just the Mossy Meadow, or do you like it with the two different color leaves? I think I really like this one. Now you could do the reverse, and you could stamp all the leaves in one color and then just color your flowers in one color, your hearts in one color. That would look cute too. So when you have it, just play around with it. Have some fun. Try some new things out. Now, you do have to use the Stampin' Right markers. Don't use the alcohol blends. They will not work. Alcohol blends, that alcohol ink dries way too fast. You'll never have time to stamp it. So you need to use your markers. All right. So what do you think? Because I think I'm going with this one. But I'm going to wait. I'm going to get my stuff out because get these put away. I've got to pull out that new machine and try it out. Well, I don't have to, but, you know, I bought it. I'm going to use it because it is a happy color. All right. Move those off to the side. Let's get rid of these dies. Not rid of them, but, you know. Okay. Number 2. All right. So I'm not seeing any comments come through. If you could send me a thumbs up or some love, just so I know that I'm still live. Sometimes Facebook likes to fool us here. And also, Facebook likes to know that people like what I'm doing. All right. So we'll move these out of the way. We'll move this out of the way. I'm going to bring in that die cut machine because I do need to die cut one piece here. And this, I'm going to use my Stylish Shapes. This is my other go-to die set. So I'm going to grab, which one did I use? Oh, I grabbed the skinny one. So I grabbed this one right here. Now, if you don't have die cut machine, you can simply make your own banner. But hey, I have it, Sometimes I can't cut a straight line to save my life. Just saying. And again, I'm just pulling in my current plates here. And I'll run this through. Super excited. Ooh, and it's gray. So it's basic gray and boho blue. So my white is white and black. And if you wonder what I'm talking about this right here. All right. Ooh, and that was nice and slick. Oh, I hear the puppy. The puppy's here. Oh my gosh, everyone take cover. Don't let your toes or fingers out of the cabin. In fact, I didn't want that on the floor because I think he'll go for it. I gotta protect that thing. All right. So now let's go ahead and bring back in our sweet sorbet. We're gonna bring in our stamp set. We're gonna go ahead and stamp a sentiment. If I can find my stamp set. And I just want to put, just wanted to say, and you can put anything you want on the inside. Happy birthday, thinking of you. There's so many things that you can put in there. Just wanted to stay. Do. So can you start hearing the madness in the background? They're downstairs. I'm upstairs. But I already hear the madness. They're starting to get along a lot better. We find that when we have them outside together, they're really good. It's just when they're in the house. And it could be just me because I can't deal with all the barking. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in everything else again. And, oh, that was not the good one. This is the good one. All right. I'm going to grab this, and I'm just going to fussy cut this one out. I'm going to leave a little bit of edge, white edge, so I'm not going right up to my image where I stamped. And again, I'm just turning my paper. So if you're new to stamping, or you just choose not to have a die cut machine, you'll have to fussy cut. And tell you what, there's times that I don't mind fussy cutting. When I'm working on some projects, like when I was working on the milkshake projects, I am really glad I had the dies because I could do it all at one time. I mean, I could have easily fussy cut everything, but I love when I can just crank it through all at one time. And there we go. I really think that's a lot prettier with the multiple colors. All right, we're going to pull our ribbon in. We're going to tie it around our sweet sorbet here. Yes, the parking has commenced. It's quiet momentarily, so I don't know if my son may have taken him outside. I tell you what, Toby has little puppy, sharp puppy teeth right now. And he thinks that everything is a chew toy. So it's kind of a matter of training him to realize that our fingers are not chew toys. He's starting to learn it, but you know, he's still a puppy, and that's what they do. Okay. All right, there we go. That's that. Now, if I wanted, I could stamp hearts all along here as well. I didn't find it necessary, but you know, if that makes you happy, go for it. We're going to use some dimensionals on the back of this. And I'm going to show you a couple cards in a few minutes with some of the celebration items. Oh, I forgot to print out my host code. I do have a host code for tonight's class. So if you would like the card kit to make 6 cards, place a $35 order in my online store using that host code. And again, it's in the description of the post today. I will put a link in the comments of the video once the video is posted. And I will have a list of supplies out there tomorrow. I'm a little tired tonight, so I don't think I'll get the list out tonight. So you can put this here, you can put this here. I like it kind of right across that heart. So I'm gonna tuck in my little scallop here. And I'm just gonna go ahead and use some of my seal. Where did I put it? Just to adhere that down. So when I'm doing this, I want to make sure that it's going to be on that sweet sorbet, so I didn't go all the way to the edge there. All right, so I'm going to have it right here. I have just a little bit tucked through there. We have this. So what I'm going to need now is I'm going to need double dimensionals on this side. So we're double dipping on dimensionals. So one. And the reason I'm doing that is because I already have one layer of dimensionals. So I need this to balance. So what I'll need to do is just put one on this side and two on that side. I'm going to need something at the bottom here. So I'm just going to take one of these bad guys. I'm going to cut it in half. And layer the two together. If it doesn't attack my nail, and it's going to. All right. Just make kind of a little dimension sandwich there with nothing in between. All right, and I'll put this right along this side. All right, so now when I put this on here, oh, I think I might have gotten it. I might not need to. All right. All right, so I don't need two of them on this side. On my original one, because of where I positioned it, I did need two. I do still need two over here, though. All right. So that gives me just a little more dimension to the card instead of being a flat card. So it gives it a 3D look. So I just wanted to say, so I'm going to put some liquid glue along this side, or I can use seal. Doesn't matter which one. Whatever you have handy, whatever you like to use. Press that down a little bit. And I'm going to put a one dimensional over on this side. We'll put a little bit of seal right over there. So put a little bit of seal here. Seal there. I'm going to put that right there. I'm going to pull in my iridescent pearls. So that's on my card. I'll put one right on the heart. And you could put a couple more around this heart too if you wanted. So maybe I'll put one right here. I'll put one right down here. And what the heck, let's just add one more. There we go. All right. So there is the original, and there's my next version. Okay. So again, it's a $35 order in my online store using the host code. I will send you all the pre-cut supplies. You're going to need your own inks and stamps to do your stuff, but you'll have all the pieces of cardstock and everything else that you need, designer series paper to make your stuff. I will give you the pieces of ribbon. I will do the other die cutting, so the scallop and the rectangle, I'll do that for you. So that'll be part of your kit. And you'll get the envelopes. So then you'll get enough to make 6 cards. If you spend $50, I'm going to include the iridescent pearls as part of your card kit. And you get to pick out a $50 celebration item. So keep that in mind. All right, let's go ahead and grab some of those cards I was talking about earlier. So I've got a few more to post, so I don't want to share those. I got to be selective on which ones I'm going to show you because I want to still have some stuff for the week and the weekend to show you. All right. So remember earlier I was talking about the that decal rectangle and how I had some images. This is what I made. So this was one of my swap cards I sent out, and I used the Lighting the Way stamp set and dies. So this is what it is. It doesn't look like a whole lot, right? But oh my gosh, wait till you see the dies. Love them. Okay, this die comes with it. So this looks like one of the old July 2021 paper pumpkin kit. But yeah, so really fun. This is a die right here, so it cuts out one of the little bugs. And then I had a little cutout earlier. I went ahead and did this. Let me just flip this over on the back. So I cut out the little body here, and I cut out the little light. So my little lightning bug has some light. And then I cut a vellum set of wings. So then I've got my wings. How cute is that, right? I mean, even if you don't like bugs, it's still really kind of stinking cute. I mean, it is. It's on a card. It's already squashed. You don't have to squash it. It's not going to move anywhere. Just saying. Okay. This one uses the adorable owls. You may have seen that one before. I think I've shared that one before. This is another swap card I made. And so Amy, close your eyes. I used the leaves from the Lighting the Way just to add some dimension to this, but I was focusing on that Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. It is really gorgeous. I do have another kind of a class coming up. It's actually this week or in 2 weeks. I have to look at my calendar. But I'm going to be using the Something Fancy stamp set and dies and using this paper. And oh my gosh, the cards are just gorgeous. Love the papers in here. It just is very, it's calming. It's like a meadow. It's just very calming. Okay, and this is one of the other ones I made. A silly goose told me it's your birthday. And then on the inside, there is a sentiment that said, and this silly goose forgot. So, yep. So those are just some of the celebration sets that I've gotten so far. I should be getting swaps, any day now. So I can't wait to share those with you. And as they come in, I'll start posting them and sharing them. Some of them I will be using for classes. So you'll see them that way as well. It gives me some ideas. So I'd like to share all that with you. So thanks for joining me tonight. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the week. I hope your weekend is fabulous. Spend it with people that you love and love you, and have a great time. Enjoy yourselves, and thank you so much for being here and spending time with me tonight. Bye.